Hi, everyone. Welcome to our new group at Lifestyle Medical. My name is Kelsey. I am the registered dietitian here, and this new group is called Nutrition Bites. And basically, the goal here is that I want to provide you with simple, actionable tips and tricks for adopting a whole foods, plant-based lifestyle. Now, this is going to meet live Thursdays at noon for just 30 minutes. So whether you're at lunch, on your break at work, or you're at home, the goal here is to just have a really short session focusing on giving you tools to implement this in your daily life. So let's get started. First, I'll just kind of introduce the format. So once a month, we'll focus more on a nutrition education topic. And then the remaining 3 weeks out of the month, we'll focus on a plant-based recipe, its health benefits, and any other tips that might go along with that theme. So we have to start by just talking about some plant-based basics. Now, this is going to be geared towards those of you who are new to plant-based eating. So if you've done this before, this might be more of a review, or you might find some new information today. So today we'll talk about the benefits of a plant-based diet. We'll talk about the daily dozen and what that means here at Lifestyle Medical. And then I want to talk about something called the Dietary Continuum. Then we'll talk about 3 steps to go more plant-based, some food swaps that you can make, and then key nutrients that are of concern sometimes in a plant-based diet. And then I have a weekly challenge that I'll give to you each week to kind of implement what we've talked about. All right, first, so there are tons of benefits to a plant-based diet. This is not an exhaustive list, but here are just some of the benefits. It can reduce the risk of heart disease, it can reduce inflammation, reduce risk of diabetes, help with weight maintenance, reduce cancer risk, it can help protect your brain, and it's more environmentally friendly. The cool thing is that if you think about a lot of the chronic diseases that we might struggle with, a plant-based diet is really kind of a one-stop shop for all or most of those diseases as a way to kind of manage it and hopefully improve it. All right, so let's talk about the daily dozen. Now, this idea was first introduced by Dr. Michael Greger. He has some great books called How Not to Die or How Not to Diet. And so this is where this came from. But at Lifestyle Medical, we've taken that list and kind of changed it a little bit and have kind of our own style. So this is essentially 12 things to include every day. And most of them are food, and then exercise is the last one. So I'm just going to go over what these 12 things are really quick. So 3 servings of beans, 1 serving of berries, 3 servings of other fruit, 1 serving of cruciferous vegetables, 2 servings of greens, 2 servings of other vegetables, 1 serving of seeds, 1 serving of nuts, 1 serving of spices, 3 servings of whole grains, beverages, which we want to aim for about at least 60 ounces of water every day, and then exercise, 10,000 steps, or daily activity. And I love this checklist, but oftentimes it can be kind of overwhelming if you're new to plant-based eating. Like, this is a lot of food and it's a big change to make. So if you're new and if this list looks kind of daunting to you, I would suggest looking at it more of like a weekly checklist or a bi-weekly checklist. Basically trying to get all these things in a span of 2 or 3 days or over a week, just to kind of ease yourself into it if you don't feel like you can jump all in and adopt this practice. Okay, so next is this idea of a dietary continuum. Basically, a whole foods, plant-based diet does not have to be an all or nothing approach. So I like to think of a diet as a continuum. So we have like a spectrum of diets. So if you look at the left side, this is a carnivorous diet. It's a lot of meat, a lot of animal products. And as we begin to move to the right, you see more fruits and vegetables being added in. And then all the way at the right would be a whole foods, plant-based diet. The vegetarian diet kind of falls in the middle. Other diets can go on the spectrum, like the Mediterranean diet, vegan diet, and so forth. But the idea here is that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. The more you can work yourself towards this end of the spectrum, the more health benefits you're going to have. But that doesn't mean that if you're here, you're not having any health benefits. That there's going to be greater benefits to your health than being somewhere over here. So again, it does not have to be an all or nothing approach. Any steps you can take towards this right side is going to be great. So if you're looking at this and you're thinking, okay, 100% whole foods plant-based diet is just not for me right now. Like, I don't think that like aligns with my life, my lifestyle. An 80-20 split is a really great goal to aim towards. So that would be like 80% of your foods coming from whole plant foods and then 20% coming from animal products or processed foods. Okay, so now let's talk about 3 easy steps to help you go more plant-based. The first one is to add more of your favorites. This is a great place to start because the idea here is that you're adding in more fruits and vegetables that you already really enjoy. So for example, say you really like roasted Brussels sprouts, like that's one of your favorite side dishes. Instead of just having like a quarter of the plate filled with the roasted Brussels sprouts, I would suggest, first of all, incorporating the roasted Brussels sprouts into your meals more frequently, maybe once or twice a week instead of once a month, say. So incorporate it more frequently, but then also include more of it on your plate. So instead of a quarter of the plate being that side dish, whatever vegetable it is, make half the plate full of Brussels sprouts, and then the other half can be, whatever the meal is that you're eating. So you still get to enjoy some of the previous foods that you love. You're just having a little bit more of an emphasis on the whole plant food. So the next step is to make sure that you're including all plant-based food groups. So this means including carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats while eating whole foods plant-based. And this is really important to keep your meal balanced, to help keep you full, and to supply your body with all the nutrients that it needs. So we're not restricting whole food groups. We're not, removing carbohydrates from our diet, or we're not trying to eat no fats at all. No, we need to have all 3 of those macronutrients in order to have a balanced diet. So on a plant-based diet, that's going to look like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy proteins, hopefully coming from plants. And instead of healthy oils, I like to think of other healthy fats that are coming from plants, like avocados, nuts, seeds, that sort of thing. All right, and so the third step is to start making food swaps. So once you've kind of done the first 2 steps, you've included more of your favorites, you're focusing on including all of the food groups, third would be to make food swaps. So here are 3 examples of some food swaps that I love, and I'll actually include the recipes in the article version of this video. So we have a scrambled tofu recipe, a lentil meatball recipe, and then banana nice cream, which is one of my favorite desserts to make. This is kind of small, but I'll just go through it quickly. So here is kind of some more ideas for some meal swaps to make. So again, instead of using eggs, you can try using tofu. Instead of bacon, you can try tempeh or mushrooms. For ground beef, depending on what you're making, you can try like a walnut taco meat, or you can use black beans or lentils or even mushrooms. For chicken, you could try substituting extra firm tofu or white beans. And then burgers, there's lots of plant-based burger options, lentil, black bean, mushroom, walnut, you name it. Lots of options here. Okay, let's focus now on a few key nutrients that kind of come into question when you start thinking about going whole foods plant-based. And first, I just want to say that it is totally possible to get all the nutrients that you need while doing a whole foods plant-based diet. You just need to put a little more thought and a little more intention and planning into it. So here are 4 nutrients that kind of come up. Omega-3s. People commonly associate omega-3s with fatty fish, but there are some great plant-based sources of omega-3s, including chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts, avocados, and believe it or not, green leafy vegetables do have some omega-3s. Vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 will be found naturally in nutritional yeast or tempeh, but other than that, you're going to have to look for fortified products or supplements. So fortified plant milks or fortified breakfast cereals, or again, supplements. So again, it is possible, you just need to kind of plan it out a little bit. Calcium. So if you stop drinking, dairy milk, you can still do like a fortified plant-based milk, but there are plenty of plant options that have natural calcium, like kale, spinach, bok choy, collard greens, basically all the green leafy vegetables, as well as figs and almonds. And then iron, some great sources of iron include tofu, beans, nuts, seeds, green leafy vegetables, whole grains, and dried figs. So the bottom line here is include more plants. It really does not have to be complicated where we're worrying about certain things or what to cut out or what to not eat. The bottom line here is just to include more plants in your diet. Like I said before, it does not have to be an all or nothing approach. Any step you take towards that right side of the continuum, where it was a more whole foods, plant-based diet, is going to be very beneficial for you. Any small step in that direction counts, and we don't have to make it as complicated as often we think it is. So the weekly challenge for this week, I would like to challenge you to make 3 plant-based meal swaps throughout the week. So again, I will be including the 3 recipes, tofu scramble, lentil meatballs, and banana nice cream in the article, but we also have tons of other recipes on our website and also on our YouTube channel. So check those out for any more resources. And that is it for week 1 of Nutrition Bites. And thank you for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you all next time.